Call of Duty is rated M for blood and gore, strong language, suggestive themes, use of drugs, violence. If any of this offends you, click away now.
Mission accomplished. Good work.
Call of Duty was perhaps my first steps into the online multiplayer experience, which would change my teenage years forever. I played Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and games like Halo 3 at my friend's house, and my mind was blown watching my friends and these other people online work together as a team in these intense search and destroy matches. I didn't have the latest gen console when these games were out, but when Christmas 2008 would come along, I would finally get my hands on a PS3 and a copy of the latest Call of Duty, World at War, developed by Treyarch. And what a gem this game was for the PS3. It had an awesome campaign and a decent multiplayer that would keep me invested until the following year the next Call of Duty would release, Modern Warfare 2. Now this game was the first Call of Duty that I got the day it released, and it was the game that solidified my passion for the series. A bombastic campaign, a fun, fast-paced, unbalanced multiplayer, and an engaging special operations. I truly have nothing but fond memories of this title. So many hours put into the multiplayer with friends and cool people I met in game. And I can say after all these years, the series is still a cornerstone for us to return to, even if we all live far away and have a lot going on in our lives now. 13 years later, and after 12 titles that never reached the heights of Modern Warfare 2, Infinity Ward and Activision released the revamped and rebooted Modern Warfare 2. But this time, it's in Roman numerals. And boy, I have been just as addicted to this game as I was the first one. But is it just nostalgia, or is this game just a more balanced and enhanced experience as it was in 2009? All of my reviews and all of my videos have been leading to covering this Goliath in the gaming industry. So without further ado, let's get into this. Now before we get into the campaign, let me note that I have not played Modern Warfare 2019, and I'll get into why that is later in the video. Modern Warfare 2 shares a lot of characters from Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. Price, Ghost, and the Great Soap McTavish and the manipulative General Shepard are back in a global hunt for some US missiles that have fallen into the hands of Hassan, an Iranian major who has allied himself with the terrorist group the Al-Qatala and the Las Almas cartel. Now I am not going to lie, Call of Duty campaigns can be boring to me. Playing whack-a-mole with a gun while going through a building just doesn't do it for me. Missions where you are constantly having to wait for an enemy AI to show their ugly heads gets old fast. But Modern Warfare 2 adds several missions in the campaign that keeps the gameplay engaging. Not always, there were some missions that I felt like dragged on and I would have to step away for a bit. But missions where you can direct your squad via a camera.
Shoot 'em. No, got something else in mind.
Fucking beautiful, sir.
Provide air support from above.
Dropping no. Copy. Engaging. Visual on RPGs.
Taking out guards with only knives like a ninja.
Got two.
Where they came from?
Or even being dangled from a helicopter on the freeway were a great way to spice things up.
Nick, what's your status? Get the jet fell out. Say again? The Sergeant, it's gone. Look, dead Nick, I'm hanging from the bloody rope.
Of course, you get down and gilly with Price in a mission because it wouldn't be Modern Warfare without that. But there is one stellar mission that I think takes the cake. You know which one I'm talking about.
So, this is Ghost, our copy. Johnny, you're injured.
What's the difference?
Life or death?
Until I got to this mission, the campaign was kind of but after seeing Graves take over Alejandro's base and your squad being separated by Shadow Company, the story gets a lot more intense. Soap is shot and is left without a weapon as you scurry through the streets of Los Alamos while Graves' men brutally make their way through the streets.
Fucking hell.
Soap tries to make his way to his squad mate Ghost, who has positioned himself in a sniping position in a church. As you make your way to him, Ghost talks you through how to make weapons out of everyday household items, which for me, I found this very innovating from the series.
Broke off a fan blade.
That's a start.
Poor bastard. Found the rope.
Tie off the blade with the rope and pry open a door.
Sounds like you've done this before.
I hate to bottleneck the Modern Warfare games into stealth missions, but they normally leave a good impression on me. They make you think about your actions a little bit more, versus just blindly shooting. We also get so much more character from these two soldier bros.
Feeling weak, are ya?
Bit shaky, sir, yeah.
Graves tried to kill us. Would stand to reason if you were a little off.
It's pissing it down out here.
Speak English.
It's raining fucking hard.
Then say so.
I did. You were gonna owe me for this.
Why?
We're fixing each other's problems.
What's my problem?
The mask. Take it off.
Show my face.
Yes, sir.
Negative.
Are you ugly?
Quite the opposite.
I doubt that.
Ghost! Stop! Ghost! Stop! Ghost! Stop!
Personally, I'm a big character guy. I like to get in the head of the character I'm playing as. And the further you get into the campaign, the characters' personalities really start to shine. Price remains being the steadfast soldier always ready to put his life on the line for his comrades. Soap is the same badass as we know and love, and Ghost remains the cool, mysterious soldier who we still don't know what he looks like. But he probably looks like this since this is the voice actor for him. As for our antagonist, Shepard is back and he doesn't have a mustache? What is this? Give me this rootin' tootin' baddie back. Shepard's right-hand man, Philip Graves, was one of my personal favorite additions to the game. Before the game makes the revelation that he is up to some shady shit with Shepard, the writers left a little trail of breadcrumbs for us to follow that Graves is a warmonger.
Line and fucking sinker, that's what I'm talking about, Shadows! You know I love that shit!
What was your target when you sent missiles to my land?
A wild guess to nail your ass. Let's have ourselves a gunfight!
You threatening us?
Soldier, I don't make threats. I make guarantees.
He loves violence, and his ambition is unchecked. I wish Hassan was more of a red herring for Graves, because his betrayal of the team felt a lot more personal, whereas Hassan felt like a two-dimensional villain who was there for the sake of the plot. I even thought Valeria, or El Sin Nombre, was a better villain than Hassan.
They weren't from any cartel. Your information is worthless.
And her history with Alejandro Vargas of the Vaqueros is definitely something I wish we could have explored deeper. Every now and then a Call of Duty campaign will drop some bomb of wisdom or light, and this scene with Valeria captured that moment perfectly.
As long as there is a war on terror, there will be no real war on drugs.
History is written by the victor. History is filled with liars. If he lives and we die, his truth becomes written and ours is lost. Shepard will be a hero, because all you need to change the world is one good lie and a river of blood.
In fact, Graves and Valeria probably would have made a great standalone antagonist in their own right in this game, without having to resort back to bringing in Shepard. But we just live in the age of media where everything is getting a reboot, and if you ask me, it muddles the creativity and the originality. As much as I love General Shepard, this game just didn't come close to the original. I mean, what did he do in this game that equated to this?
You have the DSM. We got it, sir.
Good. That's one less loose end.
No! Why?
Area is sanitized. All targets.
Or this? I feel like if Call of Duty really wants to bring these characters back, why not do it in a different medium? Do you guys remember one of the promos for the earlier Modern Warfare games? Operation Kingfish was a live-action short giving the Modern Warfare franchise a bit of backstory, and it's pretty cool. But knowing Activision, if they don't see dollar signs, they're not going to go for such an artistic endeavor like the company may have done before the dark times.
Before the Empire.
Getting back to Modern Warfare 2's campaign, the ending was a little lackluster. I really wish Graves didn't die in a tank, where you couldn't even see him. The fact that he has kind of been this physical presence standing in the way of our squad for the last third of the game makes me wish we could have had a face-to-face showdown with him. Just blowing him up with C4 while he was in a tank just wasn't satisfying enough. And while I did enjoy the last mission, just having an easy sniping shot at Hassan didn't come close to this moment in Modern Warfare 2 2009. I know this game was bombastic and theatrical, but I love that shit. The campaign ends with a Marvel after credit scene as it shows Makarov unlocking my new fear on planes as they gear up for the reboot of the controversial mission No Russian. Now, I'm not sure if Makarov will be in the future expansions for this game, but there is already some news out that Modern Warfare 2 will have a $70 DLC. Now, this DLC is said to include just as much content that the base game had, and all I have to say is, what the f***? I'll get more into this direction that Activision is taking, but it doesn't look good for the future of this industry.
Camping with a rocket. That's ridiculous.
I just love the COD community. It's so positive and offers so much reinforcement.
Hey, you Zando Black.
I'd be mad too.
The multiplayer in this game does have its issues, but overall, it's a great experience. Now, when I first fired up the multiplayer in this game, I was a little disappointed. Trying to get a squad together with these servers was infuriating.
Is he there?
With people in the party constantly having their game crash or having to restart their application. My next big gripe with this game was the unlocking system. Want a red dot on your M4 assault rifle? Well, you better spend 30 minutes playing the scavenger hunt the developers left you in order to figure out what weapons you need to use in order to unlock certain attachments. So after grinding my ass off using different weapons, I noticed that the unlocking system was actually a double-edged sword. As I was grinding out challenges with different weapons, I know for a fact I was using different ARs, submachine guns, marksman rifles that I would probably have never put my hands on otherwise. The game has really forced me to try new things, and I feel far more confident in a game no matter what I'm using. Now, for someone who just doesn't have enough time to put into this game, this unlocking system sucks. Gone are the days where you could just use that one weapon and unlock all the attachments for it. But if you can get past the unlocking system, I must say that the multiplayer offers a satisfying sandbox of weapons to use. Like I said earlier, all of the weapons on here feel really balanced. There wasn't a time that I was using a weapon and I feel like I couldn't get any eliminations with it. Except for the Lockman assault rifle. That's trash. And why can't these weapons use the same name that they have been called for decades? Like, what is a cast-off 74U? If you think I am calling this anything other than the AK-74U, then you are crazier than Alex Mason in Black Ops 1. No! There are some weapons that are annoying to go up against. Riot shields, noob tubing, one-shot marksman rifles, they all have made a return. But hey, that's just Call of Duty for you. Assault rifles and SMGs are still great overall weapons to use. In fact, all of the weapons types play out like they should, with some weapons being better for close corridors, long range, or short to medium range. But let's talk about my favorite aspect of the game that was introduced in the original Modern Warfare 2, customizable kill streaks and score streaks. This game gives you the options on whether you want to run the kill streaks or the score streaks. Now, I don't know why anybody would choose kill streaks over score streaks, because why not be rewarded when you capture an objective in something like Domination or Headquarters? But it's nice to see the developers empower the players by giving them that choice. And the score streaks in this game can really give the player the power trip they have been looking for since the OG Modern Warfare 2. Whether you're calling in a UAV for your team, raining in a cruise missile from above, or calling in air support that will follow you upon request is the reason I play multiplayer. Seriously, it's such a badass feeling when you're running around and you got your VTOL jet following you. Like, ugh, such a beast! Kinda sucks though, because Chopper Gunner feels like it got nerfed. But now, kill streaks feel a little bit more balanced. I am constantly trying to raise my KD ratio, and kill streaks and score streaks are the perfect tool to do it. Modern Warfare 2 offers a lot of customization as far as classes and the player banners go, with operators, a vast amount of camos to unlock, and challenges to complete in order to get the sweet player tags. And now, you can put up to 5 different attachments on your firearms, so you can really fine-tune your weapons. Now, this can be a lot for newcomers, so normally your best bet is going to be to YouTube or Google the current meta for the game so you can figure out which weapon attachments and perks you should be using. And as far as the perks go, they all feel fairly balanced and cater to a variety of game styles. If you want to go for a low profile, use Cold-Blooded, or if you're planning on getting a high kill streak, then you better equip Scavenger so you can keep reloading your weapons. Something else that might be unfamiliar to some older COD players is the field upgrades. Field upgrades allows you to take more equipment into the game, like trophy systems, portable radars, or even deployable barricades. Now that we have talked a little bit about the weapons, let's talk about the maps and the game modes. For the most part, I think Infinity Ward did a good job on the maps in this game. I still wish the franchise pushed out 15 plus maps upon release like they used to in the past, but hey, at least in the latest update they gave us Shoot House, bringing the total maps in this game to a whopping 11, which is still 5 less than the original Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009. And we still don't have a snow map. Infinity Ward, please give us a snow map. You can even give us sub-base back. Thank you. The reason why these maps work so well in this game is because they give the players a variety of ways to play. One of the strongest maps, Farm 18, offers what we call in the gaming biz, verticality. Or in other words, utilize the game's 3D space by adding in several places for players to get up high in. A byproduct of this is the developers create a power position, or a place where players get a good view of the map where they can defend and pick off enemies. There's plenty of crates and buildings you can get on top of, and there's even a basement area. This makes several opportunities for players to choose their own playstyle. There are several places to snipe, run and gun, and like I said earlier, get themselves in a power position to get some score streaks going. Other maps like Embassy, which was so nice that the developers took a nice big old Los Alamos Mercado, Springburg Hotel, and perhaps the most innovating map of all, Zarqua Hydroelectric, with the subterranean water passages, make every game mode interesting. There are a few maps that don't feel as balanced as the ones aforementioned, like Crown Raceway really promotes camping and almost offers zero verticality. Albagra Fortress is kind of in the same boat, with the central building being a key position in the game. If you and your team can't push the enemy team out of it, you could get pinned down fairly easy with spawn trapping. I still think this map beats out Crown Raceway simply because of that magic word, verticality. But perhaps the most controversial map of all is Santa Cena Border Crossing. Now, this map will have you blowing up like you just ate 3 burritos from Taco Bell and the Baja Blast was out of order. The map is pretty much a bottleneck filled with cars and one long tunnel separating the streets. There are some buildings in the very back and edges of the map that just feel useless. It would be nice if they put one of these buildings in the center of the map so players can't just throw random grenades and blow up a handful of cars that could potentially take out half of your team.
Jalisco, oh my god.
Holy shit. Let's go. This game's over.
Not only that, but the tunnel I mentioned earlier also rewards snipers to just camp on one side and take out that one unlucky bastard that came to get off the street of exploding cars. But with the way it is right now, no matter what path they take, players just feel screwed. The game style I've adopted here is really just trying to stay low in between the cars and pick people off that way. As far as the game modes go, a lot of Call of Duty staples can be found in here, like Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint, Headquarters, Search and Destroy, along with 2 new modes, Knockout and Prisoner Rescue, which both take out respawns and instead offer team revives. Prisoner Rescue feels like Call of Duty's answer to Capture the Flag, but now with 2 hostages. And Knockout is a cool way to test teams on working together for eliminations. Now, I don't know why Call of Duty has opted to take out Capture the Flag. That was one of my favorite game modes back in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. In the latest patch, Hardcore makes a return for players wanting a more brutal and realistic experience. Personally, I love Hardcore Free-For-All. It's a great way to level up pistols and submachine guns. But personally, the regular modes are still my favorite because the sweaty players with amazing aim and campers will finish you quick in hardcore. Despite the little inconveniences this game has, I must say I have really been enjoying the latest installment of the Call of Duty franchise. I do hope they add a little bit more content into the game for free, like some maps, because making players pay $70 for a game that didn't have as much content as the ones prior is not a step forward. But maybe we will see Infinity Ward and Activision give back to their loyal player base in the lifespan of this game. I will probably always have some Infinity for the series, even when it pisses me off beyond comprehension. Call of Duty has always been this game that me and all of my friends and family members could jump on and have a great time. Even when we live far away and we have busy lives, Call of Duty has always remained a game we can jump on and just have good old fun together.
They will use everything they have to stop you. When the first site falls, all hell breaks loose. I'll be on comms. Let's hit them where it hurts.
I won't be spending too much time covering special operations or the cooperative modes. They're just not as good as they used to. Not to be all nostalgic, but it's true. The special operation missions are all set in the new Warzone map, Al Mazrah, but personally I enjoyed the small, short arcade style that the special operations used to have. I mean, these missions were a blast and they took the different mechanics of the game and really flexed them. But now it feels like the developers just throw in special operations with not a lot of thought behind it, or not even playing it, because it's expected. Which brings me to my issue with Call of Duty and Activision as a whole. After World War II, I took a hiatus from this franchise because the games all just started to feel forced and lacked the passion that the older games had. Call of Duty 4 through Black Ops, to me, were the prime time of Call of Duty. They all had stellar campaigns that I would actually go back and play.
He became your obsession. You spent the next 5 years trying to track him down.
Dragovich, Trushenko, Stein. All must die.
And great multiplayers. I can tell Activision is trying to get Call of Duty back to the glory it used to uphold, and giving themselves a year off in order to plan the next one is a great step. Some of the best gaming franchises out there take a couple years to come out with a title. Good art takes time, like this video. No, but seriously guys, I do apologize with how long it took me to get this video out. This was definitely the biggest game that I've covered. It's got several modes, and it doesn't help that I got sucked into the multiplayer. I even did a tournament, and I got waxed. But guys, that wraps up my Season 1 for the channel. Took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. There is no giveaway this time because the last time I did a giveaway, like, that person didn't even check back on that video to redeem it. So until we just get more traffic on the channel, I'm gonna hold off on giveaways. I know, it sucks. But hey, when I feel like that audience is there, I definitely want to give back to you guys. Y'all are great. Keep watching my videos, and guys, until next season, y'all be good. Peace.